This is Dr. Matt Barber of Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. We are proud supporters of Ransom Reprogram, Ransom Ministries, and all of the good work that they do in our community. If you would like to learn more about us, check us out at alortho.com or barbertotaljoint.com. You can also hear more from me personally on the Ortho Real podcast. Thank you again for allowing us to be involved with Ransom Ministries and all of the great work that they do.
Hey, welcome to the Ransom Experience. My name is Matt Armbruster, Executive Director of Ransom Ministries. You're going to hear stories from people that we've served and people that serve alongside us, as well as those that we partner with throughout our community. You're going to hear about decisions they made throughout their life and things that happened through different avenues of their life that caused them to go down a path that they didn't see themselves going. And then also those decisions that they have to make on a daily basis to stay away from those decisions that they made in the past. Ransom Ministries empowers people to utilize their God-given gifts and talents in their career and for their community. All along the way, we learn how to help those close to us and also maybe even help ourselves. This is real. This is raw. This is Ransom.
With every star.
This show is brought to you by Ransom Recycling, your number one choice for electronic recycling in Mobile, Alabama. Help reduce waste in our landfills by recycling all of your unwanted, unused, and non-working electronics. Ransom Recycling is a division of Ransom Ministries that is helping to put men and women back to work. Check out ransomministries.com for a complete list of acceptable items. Drop-offs and pickups can be easily scheduled through the website. Please note that we are not accepting TVs at this time. Ransom Recycling, open 8 to 3 Monday through Friday. Help our planet while helping men and women re-enter the workforce.
With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head.
Ransom Experience, where every week we talk to people that have gone through our program, that are in the program, and then volunteers as well as staff. And last week, you heard from Angela when I grabbed her on her very first day to do a podcast. And she kind of told you that day kind of how she got in here, what her life was like. And so I thought it'd be cool to bring her back today, 7 months later, and figure out kind of what she's learned, struggles she's had, and you can be honest with me. So even though some of the struggles were probably me, but I want to welcome her today. Thank you for joining me again, Angela.
Thank you for having me again.
All right. So you started 7 months ago, and I reran that. That was a reboot. Not only, I mean, it wasn't because I didn't have another one to put in there. I just was thinking this would be cool to be able to do this. So I had it, so I ran it through again. Got a great response on it. I think we've had close to 200 downloads on it.
Wow.
Already, which is great since it just ran on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be a great follow-up again to see what you've learned. So tell me a little bit about your 7 months as you've been here. What's it been like?
It doesn't feel like 7 months at all. When Lisa brought the roses to me to congratulate me on the 6 months, I was completely caught off guard that it had been that long. So it has been exciting. It's been interesting. I've learned a lot about myself. I've had some really great days, feel like I'm on top of the world. Then I've had other days where I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Like, I don't even know what's going on right now. But it's good because I just keep showing up. And this is just such an awesome place to be and to grow in, you know?
Yeah. And so that don't change. I've been doing this 11 years and you still have days where you're like, what the heck am I doing? So I've seen a lot of growth in you though. I've seen the program like excel from, and I even said that I think in that first day that I felt like you would bring so much to this program because, you know, we've had other people that have really helped us get the thing launched and put a base on it. but having someone that can really relate to the girls and the guys that are coming through here has been, I think, just phenomenal. So watching you do that, I've seen you, struggle at times with just frustration. And so how have you learned to handle that? How have you learned to handle the frustration of it?
I talk about it. So some things are easy to, hash out and reconcile. But there are times when I can come to you or other people and just talk about it. And a lot of times I can kind of switch my perspective in just that conversation and see it from a totally different perspective. And it's just learning, one, not to take things, personal, like when you don't see somebody getting it or you know that they can do better and they're just not. And it's those kinds of things that, you just have to kind of sit back and let the process work itself out with them and in them, know.
So that is a hard thing to do because, at first, when I first started doing this, I would take everything personal.
Yeah.
They didn't get it. They didn't, whatever it was. I knew that I had to get to a point where I'm not their savior.
Yep.
I'm not the person.
And we talked about that the first day.
Yeah.
I kind of knew that was going to be probably one of my things.
Because you want to change everybody,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You want
but
the
not
best
everybody's
for them.
ready to change.
Yep.
How many years did it take you to change?
42.
42 years.
And I'm still changing.
Exactly. So
Still going through changes.
And that's funny because like I've told you before is that so like when I'm like complaining about somebody and not listening or not doing what they're supposed to, then God will just like whisper to me and say, "Now you know how I feel."
Yeah.
So I always try to keep it in perspective. Like I can't only control me. So
Yeah.
I've seen some great things you've done. You put some great things in place. What are some of the things that have surprised you about this position since you've been in it?
So, I struggled with even taking the job. We discussed that. I think a lot of things came out in this job that I didn't know were being developed in me because there wasn't the opportunity to use them in the other jobs I was in before. Mm-hmm. So.
Like what?
I think just patience, for one. Mm-hmm. Patience and just my ability to be organized and driven and just a lot of different things. You never could have told me I would enjoy sitting behind a computer writing and making emails and doing stuff like that. And I just enjoy it. I love communicating with the volunteers. Mm-hmm. So I guess I've surprised myself in a lot of ways, really. And just my, I guess, ability now to be more vulnerable than I've ever been,
To share your feelings?
To share my feelings, share, what's going on, what I'm struggling with, because I had a lot of ways that, like, I could sound like I was opening up to somebody without really opening up, just to keep them at a safe distance. So that is not possible here. and I'm grateful for it because I think I needed, and I still do need that extra push to just be vulnerable, and like not be perfect, Yeah. So I'm trying to cultivate a spirit of excellence without letting it turn into perfectionism. And it's just a lot of things, from trauma and.
Well, you've learned that by working with us is that you don't have to be perfect.
I don't have to be perfect.
You're not trying to be perfect because we sure are perfect. So that's what I love
and
about.
It does help the example that y'all set, in that.
Well, the thing that I've seen is that you are very organized and very driven, and you're very teachable. That's the key, is that you take things that people tell you or talk to you about, and you use those to better yourself. And I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So like if somebody, a teacher or whatever says, oh, I think we should do it this way, then I've seen that you're willing to look at it as another avenue to do it. And that's a huge quality to have, because again, if you're not going to be vulnerable and you're not going to be coachable,
Yeah.
it's hard to teach people to be that.
True.
Right. And that's what we're trying to teach.
Yep.
I see you with the ladies, and it just amazes me. But you know what amazes me more? You with the guys that come through our program. Watching how you handle them has been amazing, knowing your past
Yeah.
and knowing that that's been an issue and things like that. I see that you kind of see them differently because you're looking a different way. What do you think about that? Have you seen that yourself?
I have. Yeah, I didn't even know I had that in me too. And it's, it helps because they treat me with such respect, like they really do. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with the way that I carry myself, and I've had to learn to be that way. So there's just a mutual respect between me and them all the way around, and also, since we brought the guys into the class and I've heard their stories and I've heard the trauma that they've been through, that has helped me actually heal in some areas with, ways that I viewed men. And I think that it's helped the girls that are in the classes, and I think it's helped the guys to hear the girls' story. So we didn't know if that was going to be a good decision, but I really think that it's worked out well,
I totally think it's a great thing. We've been really trying to evaluate how we're doing things and how it's working. And I think we've realized that one thing has been good because, again, like you said, listening to someone that may be the same, a man who you've been hurt by a man, share a story about why they are where they are now. You can kind of sympathize and understand. And it goes the other way too. We've had guys come in the program that they hear these ladies tell their story and they have to run home and ask for forgiveness because they had done some of those same things that could have hurt them way worse than that. So I think you're right. And so what I've seen is you've just been open. And I think that it's been a transition because it's a little different ministry than you were even used to at the Home of Grace, which I think they gave you a very good foundation of ministry and how to be a strong woman, to stand, carry yourself the way you carry yourself.
Yes.
And I think they taught you that. And so then you're carrying it on, and it's carried on to this job. So, we've been talking a lot about where we are as a ministry, where we're going as a ministry, and I'm really excited to see kind of how that is. And so let me ask you this. So as we've went along and you've been here 7 months, what are some things that you said, we're going to do that, or any of that? Is there anything like that? And I know I'm throwing that on you, but there has to be something out there that.
Well, I don't really think that I've had that thought. What I have seen is these big, grandiose plans, because you're a visionary, obviously. And I've seen some stuff try and take action, but I also see you come in and say, okay, we're going to pull the reins on this real quick. Like, I want to make sure that we're ready and the infrastructure's ready. And I like that. Yeah. I think that vision is great. But we have to have the plan. We have to have the structure and the foundation for it. So, and I didn't know anything about all this. The Home of Grace has been established for so long that the infrastructure's there. Miss Littleton did a great job laying the foundation for that place, and it's been operating well for a long time. But this ministry is, it's birthing something, and it's growing, and it's exciting. And so one thing is, I try not to think, okay, I'm not skilled enough for this growth, because I know that I'm here. We're like pioneers now, and God's going to grow me into any position that he puts me into. So I really don't think I have those thoughts. Like, I just trust that you hear from God, that the people around here pray, and that this is all going to be a part of his plan. And he's gonna slow us down if that needs to be. And
You sound like my wife. She's the brake, she said, and I'm the gas.
yeah.
But I have, and it's about evaluation. If you sit around trying to plan everything up front, you'll never have vision. But if you just rush out into the burning building, then you're going to get killed. So there's a balance between that, and I've learned that over the years in ministry. Because before, if I was some idea I had, I wouldn't did it. If it didn't work, it didn't work. And so now, having people like you and having Jim and having my wife at home and different people God has kind of placed in my realm, it's helped me. Okay, this is what we want to do. How do we want to get there? How's the plan we're going to get there? So that's kind of like you said, we'll get it rolling and we'll say, okay, well, this needs to be done before we can do any more. And so I think having a team, and I believe God's putting together a pretty cool team with our volunteers and with our staff. And I feel like that we're going to, as we expand, He's going to provide more people for us. But we are pioneers. That's no one's ever, we don't have really a blueprint to go by.
Yeah.
We just know that we got to trust. And I'm thankful to have you on this team. And I've seen,
glad to be here.
Man, over the last 7 months, I've seen such growth. And what's funny is I knew that you were going to be these things. And as I watch you, I'm like, this is exactly what we needed. And so I don't have to really do a lot. Like, you have taken that program farther than it was, but also where I don't even you don't even ask me decisions because I know you're going to make the right one. If there's a big one, you'll come to me, hey, what do you think? Or if there's one you don't know, you're not quite sure of. Same with me. I come to you with decisions that are here to get your opinion, because I think that's what we do as fellow believers, is that we're here to help each other out. And that's why we have everybody around. But for the most part, getting classes ready, doing all that. I just assume it's done.
Yeah. Well, you're an impressive dude, because I think sometimes I'm like, how did he do what I'm doing and what he's doing? Like,
I wasn't very good at it. So
well,
I did it. I tell people all the time, I did it, but just not well. So, and that's why we operate out of our gifts.
Yeah.
If you operate out of your gift, then you're going to do it. You
Effectively.
can do it.
Yeah.
Just like I can go out there and fix my car. It might take me a week to YouTube everything and to figure it out, but I could do it, but not well.
Yeah.
You take it to a professional who that's his gift.
In and out.
Boom, he's done it. It might cost you a little bit, but, and that's why I'm looking at, like, I could have kept doing it and said, I'm not going to hire nobody. I'm not going to bring nobody in. I can keep doing it, but it wouldn't have been as good.
Yeah.
And now we're getting to a point where I feel like our programs are becoming more excellent, and we're working towards getting them excellence instead of just good.
Yeah.
And I'm just amazed, and I can't wait to see where you are at the end of your year.
Yeah. Wow.
And then where we are as this thing grows, I know that everything has a season, but I think we're going to see great things, and I see great things in you. And I know my wife feels better about having someone here come alongside me, because I'm not quite as cranky as I was normally when I come home. Well, I can't say that. I had a pretty bad week a couple weeks ago, but I think that's part of it. As a team, we talk to each other. We share when we're struggling, and we share when things ain't good. And then we share the victories too. So, and I think we do that with our participants too.
I was just about to say that. I think that's the biggest part, is they see us come in, apologize if we need to, share our struggles, and show up every day, whatever's going on.
Even when we tell them, man, I didn't want to come today.
Yeah. Yep.
But
it helps them, I think, to see that. Yeah.
Well, I know you didn't want to do this thing.
It wasn't that bad this time.
It didn't matter. See,
The first
you've
day
grown
you got
in 7
me.
months. So, you guys, you need to come out and see her in action. Come out and watch, sit through some of the classes, get involved. We always need people that can facilitate these things. And we also need people just to come show up, show their face. We also need people to do lunches. I think mostly on Mondays and Fridays are our main days that aren't covered now, and maybe one Thursday a month. And then also, we're going to have a new page on our website for our merchandise. So we got hats and shirts and barbecue sauce and all kinds of stuff. So we want check it out when I'll post it, but check it out when you get on our website. Follow us on all the social medias. Share this podcast with your friends, rate us, and then subscribe. And we hope that you enjoyed me and Angela's talk. Angela, again, thank you for coming on.
Yep, thanks for having me.
And we will talk to you next week.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. With every step